Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They go play action with Haskins. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Big stop, let's go!
Second down, Haskins. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's how we do it, baby.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Geis with a carry on second down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out because if you control it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 11. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play it out much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Pollard. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Throwing on first down, McCormick. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll run with Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Out of the gun. Geis. A gain of 5. Good enough for the first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Let's go now. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Noah Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Geis. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position. Because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense.
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
Check pass, check pass.
Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Back to throw. McCormick looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Run for Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Haskins on 1st down. That's complete to Cobb. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. To try again after the sack, Haskins. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrased that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. At a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
57, Mike, 57. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Final play of the half. It's Haskins. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Aaron Jones, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a touchdown pass.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cedric Wilson, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run with Geis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Third down. Here's Haskins. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah,
and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And some space here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, 27 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. This is Geis. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
I don't think you got it, son.
On the ground, it's Geis. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A huge play there for Washington. 46 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Now Haskins throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but it's going to be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Redskins on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Haskins will throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Noah Brown, the Ohio State man, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On 1st down, Pollard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Pollard going to try the right side. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. A big run there. 29 yards and a 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
10 logo.
Crunch time, defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there, with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So out now come the Redskins. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Haskins to throw it. Caught by Cobb. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the
Haskins hit and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case,
under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. Now it's Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Set. 18, Gator.
52's the mic.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Ready?
They'll run on 1st down. Pollard, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Washington, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New